Hey, what's up everyone? In today's video, I'm going to be going over a build that I was just messing around with. I decided to try out the Immortal King set on a Fury Druid, minus the helmet because that's Barbarian only, and I wanted to see what kind of results would come from this. It actually turns out pretty decent. So I wanted to test a build, without the usual rune words and whatnot. I will go over the stats, skills, and gear that I use, as well as the mercenary I chose to use in this video. So before we begin, if you could please give this video a like and subscribe to help me grow, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm going to start with the gear section first this time. So as you can see with this current setup that I am wearing, I have 6,300 fury damage, 35k attack rating, and 3,300 life, which ain't bad at all. And here are the stats that I have. As you can see, nothing too bad for wearing an IK set on a Fury Druid. So for the gear to start off with, of course, I'm wearing Immortal King's weapon. You could socket this with whatever you want, so I left it unsocketed. If you want Crushing Blow, you put Burr runes in there. We already have 40, as you can see with the stats here. If you want some open wounds, put runes in there. For Deadly Strike, put a low. Or if you want more enhanced damage, you could always put runes. I know most of those are a little bit expensive. Runes are decently cheap to get. So it's just whatever you prefer. And if you look at each set item, it adds something special. So for the 5-piece bonus with the weapon, you get poison damage, cold damage, lightning, and fire. And for the armor, you get all the resistances plus some faster hit recovery. So we easily hit our faster hit recovery breakpoint for the 42%. I believe we have 80 something here. Yeah, 80 faster hit recovery. So we hit our one breakpoint. So then, of course, wearing IK armor. And then for the belt, Mortal King's belt, you get physical damage reduction, enhanced defense, some more faster hit recovery, and some defense. I'm wearing Immortal King gloves. You get the life leech, mana leech, defense, increased attack speed, and then I'm wearing Immortal King's boots. I know you don't get the bonus from the barb skills here, but it all adds together. So it's a pretty nice, overall, a nice little bonus from the Immortal King set. For my amulet, I'm wearing an Atma's amulet. It gives a chance to cast amplified damage, which makes you hit a lot harder. Plus, it gives you some poison resistance if you're lacking there, and a little bit of a bonus to your attack rating. So a decent amulet. If you want an alternative amulet, you could put High Lords on. That's always my main go-to for a Fury Druid. For the rings, I have 2 Ravenfrosts on. They give, cannot be frozen. You only need that for one aspect, so you can always swap one of these rings out. But it gives plus dexterity and some to your attack rating, which is always nice for hitting. For my helmet, I always go to one of my favorites, which is I'm probably going to butcher it, but Jalal's Mane. It gives plus to skills, faster hit recovery, attack rating, strength, resistance. It's just a very good helmet. Plus, you could upgrade it to have more defense. And again, I left this unsocketed as well as the armor unsocketed. You just put in whatever you need to fill your needs. And that's pretty much it for the gear. Now onto the charms. So for the charms, for example purposes, my charms are a little bit more expensive. You don't have to have these stats to make this build execute, but it'd be nice to get something close. So I split the grand charms down the middle kind of Summon Druid and Shapeshifting Druid with life on them. Get as much life as possible. You don't really need any more faster hit recovery as you blew past that breakpoint, unless you really want to try to hit the next breakpoint, then get a couple with 12 faster hit recoveries on them. But I just split this down the middle, and I'll get to it in a minute once I get to the skill section. For my torch, I just have the best Druid torch that I could possibly get and the best Annie I could possibly get. And for charms, I have a couple 20 life small charms with resistance on them. If you can't get the 20 life with 5 resistance, because I know they're expensive again, you could just do a few plain 20 life ones and then just get some either all resistance small charms singular, or you could do individual elements. So you could find a small charm with 11 lightning resistance, get a couple of those, get a couple of fire, and whatever you need. So that's just a cheap option to go to get the charms. But nothing really crazy for my charms. They're pretty straightforward, but very effective. For my mercenary, I just wanted to do something a little different. Everyone either goes to the Act 2 mercenaries or the Act 1 mercenaries, and no one really gives love to the Act 3 ones. So I decided to get an Act 3 fire sorcerer. He gives enchant, and as you can see, his enchant level is 47. I put a Hexfire on him. It gives +3 to fire skills. And then Chains of Honor, you can always make this Eth to give him a little bit more defense for survivability. I gave him a Flickering Flame to give +3 to fire skills. It also gives me a resist fire aura to help with my fire resistances, so that's pretty nice as well. And then I put a Spirit on him, which gives +2 to skills for him. So nothing too crazy, just something that gives plus skills to give his enchant a higher level, and that enchant gives me more attack rating, and he also enchants all your pets, so it's a pretty nice bonus all around. For my stats, I made this druid kind of more of like a brute type druid, meaning I gave him a lot more strength to try to boost his attack a little bit. So I have 270 here, plus Immortal King's armor and weapon are a high strength requirement. You can always put a negative requirement jewel or a hell rune in the Immortal King armor to bring the strength requirements down. But since they're high enough, I just decided to do something a little bit out of the ordinary. So I gave him a lot of strength. For dexterity, I gave him just a little bit, give him a little bit of a boost. And then my vitality, I put about 200 there to give him a little bit of a life boost, which is always nice to have, which ends up about 3,300 life here. And then energy, I gave absolutely none. And as you can see here, resistances, we have max resistance all besides cold, so not too bad for stats. For my skills, I maxed out werewolf and lycanthropy, and then I maxed out fury, which is our main attack. Put 1 point into feral rage. I used that to charge up so I could run faster, and then 1 point into rabies for our prerequisite. I also put 1 point into werebear and maul, just in case you want to wear a metamorphosis helmet. That way you could get the werebear bonuses. For summoning, I maxed out Heart of Wolverine instead of going with Oak Sage. This way it boosts your damage and it boosts your attack rating. And then I maxed out Grizzly just for a meat shield. So I like using the summons. They kind of disrupt the monsters attacking you and it distracts them, so you can get more hits in without getting hit. And then I had a couple points left over. You don't have to. You could add it to your synergies for Grizzly. You could either put him in the Direwolf or Spirit, but I put it in the Cyclone armor just for a little bit of elemental absorb. So that's it for skills. Nothing too crazy. And this is my Immortal King Fury Druid build. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and enjoyed the build. Again, I just wanted to try something that was a little bit unorthodox outside the typical rune words and see if I could come up with something effective. So I hope you guys get the chance to try it out and see if you have fun. Let me know if you have any comments, suggestions, questions. Please comment below. Again, thank you. If you could please give this video a like and subscribe to help me grow, I would greatly appreciate it.